Okay, today we're going to be talking about Ray J and Princess from Love and Hip Hop. They filed for divorce twice in 1 year.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
All right, they filed for divorce months ago, back in April, and then they dismissed it in early July. Okay, just 2 weeks after they made their dismissal, he filed his own divorce. See, she filed divorce first, and then Ray J filed divorce this time for custody of their child. All right, and this is twice in 1 year. They tried to work it out, but it just didn't work. And now they're asking for privacy while they try to work things out. All right, what I want people to understand from this situation, especially with Ray J, is that divorce is very common now. All right. And the reason why divorce is very common is because people are not really trying to be family oriented. You have the lack of family reunions, you have the lack of family gatherings because the holidays are starting to disappear. People are starting to realize that the holidays had a different meaning behind it versus being with family and friends. So the more woke people are becoming, the less they're going to celebrate holidays because they feel like those holidays are racist based. So what does that mean? There's no reason for families to come together, and there's no reasons for families to be together. That's how come you're seeing a lot of divorce. It's because everyone is thinking individually and everyone has become narcissists. So they want to live the life that they want to live. Now, when you're looking at Ray J and Princess, Ray J's always been a beta male, regardless of what you say. Even when he was on Moesha, no matter when he was singing, he's always been a beta male. You have to realize about Princess, she's always been in the limelight. She was Mayweather's ex-girlfriend. She was with Mayweather for a long time. When Mayweather and Ray J were friends and hanging out with each other, that's when he met Princess. And when Floyd Mayweather broke up with Princess, that's when Ray J started to date her. So you have to understand that she downgraded herself to be with Ray J because pretty much Floyd Mayweather got sick of spending money on her. So what can we learn from this situation? For one, you cannot turn a whore into a housewife. All right? You cannot turn a girl who's been around the block into a housewife. And the reason for that is because once a woman is exposed to the streets, she no longer knows how to stay in the house. Period. When women have been exposed to sleeping with so many men, then they're unable to parabond later in life. And this is what a lot of women are facing. They're facing liberation backlash. What I mean by liberation backlash, they've been told that they can run the streets. They can do what they want to do. They're very independent. But the bad part about it is when they try to switch over and be the woman that everyone tells them to be the wife, to be the carer, to be married, they don't know how to make that transition. That's the thing about a woman. All right? You can't turn a bad girl good. When a good girl is going bad, she's going forever. And that's what Ray J tried to do. Ray J tried to turn a whore into a housewife. Next. Hollywood is no place for love. And the reason why Hollywood is no place for love and why you're seeing so many divorces in Hollywood now is because it's agenda based. All right. Everybody has an agenda. Everyone's playing a fantasy world. So when you have multi-million-dollar corporations that are throwing money at them like, hey, maybe you should marry her. Maybe you should be with her because it gives your life a whole entire different script. That's what happens in Hollywood. A lot of these relationships are just placed together because they make a lot more money looking like a family. Why do they make money looking like a family? Because it's the ultimate fantasy that everyone is trying to achieve, regardless of what they say in life. A lot of people are saying, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be with anybody. I don't want to do this. I just want to be alone. They're saying that on surface, but deep down in their heart, they want to be married. So the producers and everybody that runs Hollywood, they know this, which is why they immediately try to get superstars from athletes to movie stars. They try to get them to date and marry fast because it's still going to sell regardless if it works out or not. If you can sell the wedding and you can sell the family and you can sell the picture frame lifestyle and you're a Hollywood couple, you're just going to be famous as ever. It's just that whenever your notoriety and people get sick of looking at you and pretty much your viewership starts going down, so will the relationship. Next, you have to understand it's hard to transition over into alpha from being beta. All right. A lot of you guys get hurt by women and you go take the red pill and you think, oh man, I'm a red pill guy. I'm an alpha male now because I watched a couple videos. It don't work like that. This takes years. Majority of you guys are not going to be red pill until you're like 30, 35 years old. I see a lot of you 19 and 20-year-olds talking about the red pill and that you're woke. No, you're just grouping together with other guys, which is a beta male thing. And you guys are venting to each other. At the end of the day, you're still one blowjob away from the plantation. You're still one blowjob away from falling in love again because you have not learned to control your emotions. You have not learned to be disciplined. Typically, a man is not going to have full control over his emotions until he's in his 30s. Those are proven facts. A lot of guys have tried to come into the red pill world and go back out into reality and get messed up. Why? Because you haven't sat back and studied the entire game. You got 20-year-olds that are talking about MGTOW. You got 20-year-olds that are talking about grown men stuff. And it's like, no, you're regurgitating what you've seen. 20-year-olds shouldn't even be MGTOW. MGTOW is for divorcees and guys that have had an established amount of relationships, not for a 20-year-old that got his heart broken because he chasing around some broad that's getting banged out by guys that are more alpha and more popular to him. So if you walking into the red pill world because you got your heart broken because she cheated on you with somebody that's more popular, I'm sorry, but that comes with life. You can take the red pill, but that's about it. You're not going to be fully red pill until you're like 30, 35 years old. You have to have the experiences. Next, one thing what guys have to learn. When a woman belongs to the streets, she forgets how to be in the house. The streets will call her back. You take a woman off the streets, she doesn't go in the house and camp out. She goes in the house and looks out the window and she starts to feel caged. And the reason why when you take them off the street and you put them inside and they start to feel caged, it's because they don't feel free anymore. They may feel comfortable, but they don't feel free. When a woman gets used to just ripping and running, jumping from guy to guy, being with this person, not being with that person, hanging out with this girl, dealing with the drama, being seen, being famous, when she fully belongs to the streets, she'll never know how to come back into the house. She'll never know how to humble herself. In a lot of cases, she has to get hurt. Something tragic has to happen to her for her to wake up. You take a woman off the streets and put her in the house and she continues to look out the window. Regardless of how many kids she have, she's going to always want to go back out into the streets and enjoy that freedom. Look at Omarion and his baby moms. 2 kids with her and she's still out here jumping from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy. All these Hollywood women want to jump from guy to guy to guy to guy. Not because they like them, because it gives them attention. The more attention that a woman gets, the sexier she feels. But you have to understand, they always need the dopamine, the same way a lot of you guys need the dopamine. If you get used to 1,000 likes a day and then it goes down to 500, you're going to be depressed. It's the same thing with content creators. You get used to getting 10 to 20,000 views and then all of a sudden it goes down to 10,000 views, you're going to get depressed because you're in competition with yourself. It's the same thing with women that have been on the streets. They're constantly in competition with the younger version of them. So the older they get, the more they try to get back out to the streets to get that feeling again. And that's what you're seeing in Princess. And that's what you're seeing in Ray J. Ray J is ready to walk away because you got to remember, he grew up in a house with mommy and daddy. It's not the same for Princess. All right. So you can learn from this situation. Divorced twice in 1 year, Ray J. When they go to the streets, you cannot turn them into a housewife because they're not going to go in there and help you build a home. They're going to go in there and look out the window and wait for that moment to where they can go back outside. All right. Hopefully you liked the video. This is Anthony Spade. Comment, like, subscribe. Videos go to the Patreon before they come to YouTube. Hasta la vista.